Voigt with Keller Williams Realty at the Lakes, and we are doing our very first episode of the Specialist Spotlight series today. So this monthly series is going to bring experts in all of the fields of your home buying experience here to answer any questions that you might have about their specialty. So joining us today is the fabulous Christy Sampson with the mortgage firm. So chime in throughout the video with all of your questions regarding the loan process, and she's our girl. She's going to tell you all about that. We want to know that you're here too. We thank you for joining us, and we want to know that you came. So during the video, even if you're just here to say hey, or if you're going to stay for the whole thing, great. But private message me and let us know that you were here so that we can properly thank you. And we're going to be doing a really fun giveaway. When you message us and let us know that you came, give us your contact info, and for every piece of contact info that you give us, you're going to get one entry into the giveaway. Christy, what does the giveaway winner get?
One of my favorite things, Starbucks.
Woohoo! It's Monday. Everyone can relate to the importance of Starbucks in their life today, right? So yeah, message me with your contact info. Each piece of contact info gets you one entry. So if you give me your phone number, that's one entry. If you give me your email address, that's a second entry. Give me your mailing address, that's a third entry. And if you want more times to get a chance to win this Starbucks gift card, if you share the video after we're done doing the live and post it on your page, that way all of your friends will be able to see this valuable information as well, and you'll get 2 additional entries into the giveaway contest. And next week, Christy's going to be back, and we're going to draw the winner live for everyone to see. So, all right, let's get to some questions. Melissa, has anyone that's joined recently chimed in with any questions yet?
No questions yet, but we do have a lot of viewers.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. So we had some people ask us questions after we posted the ad last week. So we'll go off of these questions for now.
Sure.
And if anyone wants to chime in with questions throughout, please feel free to do so. So, Christy, someone wanted to know, and this is probably the most important thing, what is the loan process really like? Take us through step by step of what a new buyer is going to go through when they talk to you for the first time.
Sure. So what happens to start off with is initially it's typically a phone call. We love a good face-to-face, but more than likely it's going to be a phone call, and we're going to talk about their needs and their wants and that type of thing. So one of the biggest thing is monthly budget. I think that's most important, more than saying I want to buy a $400,000 house. Like, let's figure out like what your monthly budget needs to be and what you're most comfortable with. So we'll talk about that initially, and then I'll ask them some more personal questions. Employment history. Do we have a down payment? That type of thing. Just those things. And at the very end of our consultation, I will ask you if it's okay if we go ahead and pull in credit, because I need to see your credit worthiness, what your credit score is going to be. So that'll be the last thing I do on the initial consultation is basically get those 2 important things, your date of birth and your social security number, so I can actually pull in a credit report to see what's going on with that.
Okay, so after that initial conversation, you've got their credit. What happens after that?
So after we take a look and everything looks good, then what's going to happen is I'm going to follow up with a phone call, let you know everything is okay, and then I'm going to give you some important documents that I'm going to need in order to issue a solid pre-approval to you. Those types of things are your last 2 years of tax returns, your last 2 years of W-2s or 1099s, depending on how you're paid, bank statements to show that we do have that money for down payment and closing costs, and missing something, pay stubs, most important. So we need to see pay stubs to make sure that everything checks out with what you've told me over the phone. And once I've reviewed everything and everything looks fantastic, then I'm going to shoot you a pre-approval letter, which is, basically good as cash. Then it's time for you guys to go shopping and find the home of your dreams.
Yeah, that's the fun part. That's where I get to stay.
Yeah, you get the fun stuff.
Okay, so during the house hunting process then, what do you do specifically for the buyers when they're looking at houses online before we go see houses?
Absolutely. So I love to do this for my buyers, because a lot of times when, you'll send them homes that they love, and they're going to be like, can I really afford this? Like, what is my monthly payment going to be? So I love to do that for my clients. I think it's super important. So I'm going to run numbers for you so you can actually get a good idea of what your monthly budget's going to look like, because we've talked about in the past. Homeowner associations sometimes can be a little heavier in the Central Florida area, just depending, and taxes. So it can really swing you one way or another.
So you'll get the homes and you'll look at what the price is, what the taxes
Absolutely.
are, and the HOAs,
Yep.
and what information do they get before that, like monthly payments and how much money they need to put down, right?
Absolutely. So what I'll do is we've already kind of figured out what you're going to do for a down payment. So I'm going to show you your monthly payment, I'm going to show you your down payment, and I'm going to show you your closing cost. So I think the two most important things that people are always looking for is what's my monthly payment going to be, and then what is my cash to close. So yeah,
Excellent.
I want you to have a good idea of what that's going to look like.
Awesome. Sounds good. And then once we find the house and we get under contract, what happens at that point?
So once you get under contract, Melissa or you will send me over the contract, and then we're going to put everything into our software program called Encompass, and we're going to send out what's called e-disclosures, which the very important document that's in there is going to be your loan estimate. So that'll get sent out to them once the client signs, and then it comes back to me. Then we're going to order your appraisal and your title work, and you're going to be going straight into the processing.
Awesome. Melissa, have we got any questions about this process?
No questions yet, but a lot of waves.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Okay, no, that sounds great. Thanks for taking us through that step-by-step process. Another question that we got in is, what is a common mistake that some buyers make before they start the process, before they even approach you about getting a loan?
Well, I think one of the worst things you can do is switch jobs. So don't do that. If you think you're going to purchase a home pretty soon, please stay in the job if you can. Always stay in that job. Another thing is people think, oh my gosh, let me clean up some of the things on my credit report. Like, I want to get rid of this credit card because I don't use it very often. So they end up closing the account. Don't ever do that. Or if they have like a couple collections, that's another thing. Don't pay off any collections unless we tell you to, because your credit score could be hurt. And then a lot of times people get excited and they're like, I just want to go ahead and buy some furnishings for the home, and then they go out and they establish a new line of credit. Like, don't do anything. The thing we want you to do is keep everything normal and keep paying your bills on time.
Okay, so that's interesting. So some people think maybe before they talk to you, they want to clean up their credit, but they might be cleaning the wrong thing up.
Correct.
So it'd be best to talk to you first.
Absolutely.
Okay, interesting. Very good. And have we gotten any questions? That
We do.
Oh, excellent.
So, Christy, what is the major difference between a pre-approval and pre-qualification?
Sure. Great question. So pre-qualification happens before pre-approval. So that's when I have that initial consultation with you and I talk to you over the phone. That means you're telling me all these amazing things about you, and I put them in the system and get everything back, and it looks great. And then if it looks great, then what I'm going to do is request all those financial documents we were talking about before. And then when I go over all the financial documents and everything checks out, and we get the thumbs up, then I'm going to send you a pre-approval letter. So that's the difference.
So a pre-approval is stronger than a pre-qualification.
Absolutely. That means I've received all of your financial documents, verified everything, and then you're really good to go out with Jackie or Melissa and start looking at homes.
And I can say from our end, as a realtor's end, having a pre-approval is so important, because in this hot market, we're not able to submit an offer on a home without a pre-approval, because we basically need to let the seller know this is a strong buyer. They've already spoken with the lender and been pre-approved. You have nothing to worry about. It makes our offer really strong.
And then if I can jump in there real quick, once your client does find a home that they really like, let me call the listing agent and tell them how strong of a buyer we are, because we really want our client to get this home. So if I can call and verify that we have everything and this client is really good for this home, I would love to do that.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool. Have we gotten any other questions?
Nope, not yet.
All right, sounds great. Let's keep going down our list of questions from people. So how do you calculate an interest rate? I feel like we always hear stuff about interest rates all the time. How is this interest rate calculated?
Sure. So I do get this question probably. I do. It happens on every phone call. So they're like, what's my interest rate going to be? Well, until we take a look at everything, interest rate is determined by a few things. A big, strong way that your interest rate is calculated is your credit score. So obviously, stronger the credit score, the better the interest rate is. Loan type, down payment amount, loan amount, and the type of, are we doing a 30-year fixed or are we doing a 15-year? Like all those different things will determine.
So it's really a
interest rate.
case-by-case basis.
Absolutely,
So
it's
when
case
people
by case.
Hear this
Yep.
and that about interest rates.
Yep.
That might not apply to them. They
That's
really should
correct.
talk to you.
That's
Okay.
right. My neighbor, oh my gosh, they got like a 4.25 or whatever. That might not be the case for me. It's case by case.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
How are we doing on questions, Melissa? Anyone chime in with anything?
I think your cousin Rob just got called out for changing jobs in the middle of their last home buying experience, but
If only we did this video sooner. Sorry. Okay, well, another question that came in about interest rates
Sure.
is why do they jump around so much? Like, why might it be one thing one day and something else next week? What is that?
Yeah. So they do change. They've changed a lot here in the past 3 years. Thankfully, we have a stronger economy. So when the economy is stronger, then there's a demand for more money and interest rates tend to go up. So that's kind of why you see interest rates moving.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. We kind of talked on this a little bit, but someone is in the process of buying a home that wrote in and they want to know when can they officially buy all this new furniture and all their new appliances? When is that okay to do and not mess up their loan?
Yeah, so we're stoked that you want to do that, but we really, really want you to wait until we're sitting at this closing table and you slide the keys over to me and we're all happy. Then you can leave and go out and buy all that furniture that you want.
Okay, so they might not have their new furniture and new appliances that day that they move into the house. They really should wait until after closing has taken place.
We don't want you to change anything throughout the home loan process. We do not like surprises. We want everything to go nice and smooth for you, so don't change anything.
Okay,
Yeah.
good to know. Any questions that have chimed in? All right, we'll keep going with our pre-list then. What are the benefits of working with a local lender, would you say?
Well, I think you said it. We're local. So, you get to see me. I'm a real person. So, you're going to see me face to face. You can walk into my office and talk to me, or I can meet you somewhere if it need be. The other thing is that we have local appraisers. Like, we know our area. This is our market. So local appraisers is huge for us. And then another thing about a local lender is for us, for the mortgage firm, everything is done in-house. So all the way from processing to underwriting. So if I need to go down the hall and talk to my processor or underwriter, I'm able to do that. So I think that's a huge benefit.
So turnaround time is probably quicker then because everything was there.
Yeah, sure.
Melissa, was there a question? That
yes.
just came in?
Anthony would like to know, he said, contracts are always written with a financing contingency, correct? What are some reasons that finance would not go through after an offer has been made?
What are some of the reasons that the finance wouldn't go through after the offer's been made? Changing jobs, kind of like her cousin did, those types of things. There's probably a million reasons, but that's the one that comes to mind right away.
So if anything on their bank statements change,
Yeah.
if they make any of those big payments.
Absolutely.
maybe-
Something comes up and you have to spend your money and you don't have the money to close on the loan. Like there's few things that could pop
It's like a
up.
gift of a deposit falls through.
Yeah, exactly. Big stuff. Yeah.
So any changes in the financial situation, then
Yeah,
it sounds like. But,
for sure.
okay.
For
So I guess it's really important then for buyers to be super honest. Because if they're not, it will get unfolded, and if they're not giving
Absolutely.
you all of
We
their
find out.
information, you're
Yeah.
gonna find out. Okay.
We absolutely find out. And another thing is we want it to go nice and smooth for you. No surprises. So, and we want to close you on time or before. That's another huge thing with us. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Good
Seth from
question.
Orlando wants to know, if I'm buying a second home, does that change the types of loans I could qualify for?
Second home, the type of loan is your conventional loan, typically. So 10% down. Seth, that's a good name. Yeah.
So there's different loans for like a first-time home buyer then, as opposed to.
Yeah, so your first-time home buyer, they can fall into a couple different loan types. They're really, speaking of loan types, there are 4 major types of loan programs out there: USDA, VA, conventional, FHA. A lot of first-time home buyers, they fall into that FHA category. My first home was FHA. It's 3.5% down. And then you have your conventional 3% down. And then the other two great loan products are your USDA and your VA loans, because those are 0% down. So any veterans out there, definitely VA program is probably the best program there is available.
So how do they find out what the best loan program is for their...
That's my job. So my job is to take all this information, put it together, and find out what is the best loan product for you. So I take all those financial documents that you've given me, and I go through them thoroughly, and based on credit score and down payment and all that stuff, I figure out what is the best program for you, for sure.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Melissa?
Nope. Just
Sounds
roll.
great. Well, is there anything else that you would like to share as a lender on behalf of the lending process that we may not have addressed here?
No, I mean, I'm here to help. So I love what I do. I have not always been in this business, but I truly love helping people. I've always served people. So anything that I can do to help make the process easy for you, happy to help.
You've helped a ton of our clients.
I try. So there you go.
Very good.
Yep, I love it.
Well, thank you everyone for joining in today on our very first episode of the Specialist Spotlight series. And again, if you want to enter the giveaway to win what? Starbucks gift card, you need to private message me and give me your contact information. For every piece of contact info that you give, you get an entry into the giveaway. So if I get your phone number, email address, and mailing address, that's 3 entries. You don't need to give me everything though if you don't want. You just might not get as many entries. And then again, we want everyone who you are friends with to also get to know this valuable information in the whole loan process. So share this video when we're done with the live now, and share it on your Facebook profile so that your friends and family can see it as well. And when you do that, you're going to get 2 entries into the giveaway. And we'll be back again next week to do the winner, to figure out the winner live here on Facebook. So thank you so much for joining us. Bye.